Hello all, I'm Sai and you're watching The Book Dragon. Today I'm bringing to you another video in my top 5 series. So the first video in this series was my top 5 villains, which I'll link up in the iCard and down in the description so you can check it out if you want to. Today we are going to discuss my top 5 romances, okay? While talking about top 5 romances, I'm considering all the romances within the series as a single romance, because there are certain series in which I consider not just a single romance but more than one couple tend to make their way because they are so beautiful together. So these are like 5 romances, but from not 5 romances, but romances from 5 series which I consider as my top 5, and all of them are really good in some way. They are not just series, they are standalones also, and I'm not just talking about fantasy alone. There are also other genres of books included. So without any further ado, let's get into the video. I'm going to count down in the reverse order. So the couple in the 5th place is a couple which I've not at all talked about at all in this channel, and they are like one of my most all-time favorites because I don't know how I forgot them for these many months after starting. And it's David and Genya from the Grisha trilogy by Leigh Bardugo. They occur in all the 3 books: Shadow and Bone, Siege and Storm, and Ruin and Rising. Okay, David and Genya are characters who are part of the matriarchy. That is, they are the order of fabricators. Now, Genya is a character who's a tailor. Okay, tailor. She's not a tailor who stitches clothes as we see in our regular world. In this world, a tailor is a person who can manipulate your natural instincts and change your appearance according to your will or according to their will. And David is a person who's a fabricator. Okay, he's an alchemist specifically because he's a person who's simply put in terms, David is a scientist and Genya is a beautician. Okay, the thing which contradicts these characters the most is their rooting. That is, Genya is a character who's so strong, she's so brave. Okay, I can easily compare Genya and David's relationship with Simon and Isabel from the Mortal Instruments because they are so similar in many aspects. But David is someone who's so geeky. He's totally into his work alone. He's into his science and his work alone, and how we can produce different stuff and help the army build in a better way. And Genya is a person who's like deputation for the king and the queen. Okay, she is abused in many ways. Okay, there is this particular line of Genya which just sums up her entire arc throughout the series. It is that I'm not ruined, I'm ruination. Okay, when you read that line in that particular instant when Genya says it is just great. And there is this very terrible thing which happens to Genya. Okay, and even then David and Genya, they don't give up on each other. Though David is so dumbly innocent at many instances, Genya doesn't give up on him. As well as after this very terrible thing that happens to Genya, David doesn't give up on her, because that's the type of bond that they formed, and it is so beautiful to read about. And if you want to read about such a very good dynamic when it comes to romance, then you have to read Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. The number 4 romance is P.S. I Love You by Cecelia Ahern. Now, this is a contemporary romance. It is said to be adult romance, but I don't think it needs to be adult, because I think anyone over 14 years of age or 15 years of age can easily read this and fall in love with this, because it's not explicit in any way. It's so beautiful. Okay, the plot of this book is that we have this couple named Holly and Jerry, of which Jerry, the husband, he has died due to brain tumor just a few weeks before the book begins. And what happens to Holly is that she deals with Jerry's death in the worst way possible. Okay, she doesn't express her grief openly, and she doesn't ask out for help from anyone. But after these few weeks from which Jerry had died, Holly receives this package. Okay, she receives this package, and when she unwraps the package, there are like multiple envelopes within that package, and within each and every envelope there's a letter written by Jerry addressed to her. And at the end of each letter, it ends with P.S. I Love You, the line P.S. I Love You. And each of these letters is a task that Holly has to do for Jerry as his farewell present from her to him. And he just wants to make her life better after he has passed away. Okay, he has thought this through and made this huge plan and taken the effort to make this package reach Holly after he dies. And each and every task that's addressed for each and every month, it's so beautiful. Okay, if you want to read a story of beautiful romance as well as a lot of hope poured into it, then you have to read P.S. I Love You, because it will make you feel pain a lot. Okay, it will make you feel love a lot. the connections that we form around people as friends as well as family, and how we need to ask out for help, and how we need to connect with people and remain in a community always in order to remain mentally as well as physically stable. There are multiple aspects that I can consider as really good things when it comes to this book, but that romance aspect, even with the absence of the second character in the romance throughout the book, just makes this a great romance, and that's why it's number 4 in my list. The romance that is number 3 in my list is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. The romance between Hazel Grace Lancaster and Augustus Waters. That's what drives this book throughout. Okay, this is a contemporary romance, a contemporary young adult romance. I think by this time everyone knows what The Fault in Our Stars is actually about, because there is no other person. Okay, yet I'm just going to tell a brief synopsis of what the story is. It's about these two teenagers who of which one has cancer and the other one had cancer. Okay, Hazel is the girl who has cancer in her lungs and her throat. I think her lung, okay, somewhere in the respiratory tract. And Augustus is the guy who used to have cancer in his leg and he lost a leg due to it. And he used to be a football player and now he's not one because he's lost a leg. That's the only main reason why he is not a football player now. He has lost something for cancer in his life, and he sees that Hazel is in such a condition that she is going to die in a few more months or a maximum of years. Okay, she has like a lifespan of 3 or 4 years max. While the time they two meet, and they just instantly fall in love. It has insta love, but it is done in a beautiful way. The plot of this book is something which is not that excellent in any way. Okay, the story of Hazel and Augustus together, how they experience life, even the shortest amount of time that they spend together makes this story like a huge hit. That's mainly because of the characters of Hazel and Augustus, because they are so realistic characters. When you read about them, it feels like they are actual people. They are people to whom this story might have actually happened, and there are certain scenes in this book which will make you feel pain that these two people face, and it's just so sick and painful as well as very beautiful. It'll make you cry, yet you'll end up loving it, and that's one of the main reasons why I'm not reading this book, and I'm not going to read this for a long while into the future, because I want to read this again only when I'm in a very great mental state, because if I read it anytime soon, I'm sure that it'll put me into depression, because it's so sad yet it's so good. The romance in number 2 is from the Harry Potter series. From this one I actually have 3 ships which I like a lot. The first one is obviously Ron and Hermione. Okay, everyone knows that Ron and Hermione are like one of the most shipped couples when it comes to fiction or fantasy as a whole, especially young adult fantasy. I'm sure that no one will not ship Ron and Hermione, because they are so different characters. They are so loving to each other. Okay, all the three people in this trio, they love each other more, and when two of them get together, it is really beautiful. Actually, I loved it when I saw Harry and Hermione not getting together. That was the main part which I liked, because Ron and Hermione ended up being together, so this friendship between Harry and Hermione was something which was not ruined. I liked that a lot. And after that, the next one which I liked is Harry and Ginny. Okay, Harry and Ginny's relationship is not something which is so openly said. It is hinted on from in books 2, 4 and 5. In book 6 it just fleshes out and takes the whole form, and I liked it. Okay, it was subtle, it was slow, it built up very well. And the next one is the most favorite. Okay, of all the 3, this is my most favorite, and it is Lupin and Tonks. Okay, they have the tragic ending of all the 3 couples. Actually, they both die at the end. Yeah, that's another book's name. They both die at the end, and yet their story is so beautiful. Okay, the age gap between these 2 people is so high. Okay, yet they understand each other very beautifully. The worst part is that they die after having a kid. Okay, after having a baby, not even a kid, after having a baby. Within the time that the baby is like just 1, they die, which is so horrible if you ask me. And that's what makes them a bit more special for me, because they are so platonic in many ways, and it was so beautiful to see them. Hence the Harry Potter series, with Lupin and Tonks as the most important ships of mine, is the second one. Finally, moving on to the number 1 place, the series with the number 1 romance in my list is the Mortal Instruments series. I have not read any of the other series by Cassandra Clare in the Shadowhunter universe yet, hence I'm selecting the Mortal Instruments. And I'll say, okay, I have 4 main ships in this one. The first 3 are the 3 main ships: Clary and Jace, Simon and Isabel, and Magnus and Alec. The 4th one is Maya and Jordan. which we didn't get, okay, yet I like them a lot. First, okay, I'll talk about my most favorite at last. The first one is Clary and Jace, because they are like the centermost ship throughout the series. I like that dynamic because their relationship is the one which actually literally goes on a roller coaster. They start loving each other, then they are said that they are brother sister, then they are proved that they are not brother sister again, then they start loving, okay, worst things happen, very bad things happen, and eternally they find each other and they get together, which was beautiful. The next one is Magnus and Alec, okay. I'm sure that Clary and Jace, Magnus and Alec, Clays and Malik especially is the most shipped couple in the entire Shadowhunter universe, and it is so obvious, okay. They are so beautiful together, okay. They are both precious people, and there's nothing wrong in shipping them. But I think what makes Malik stand down for me than my most favorite couple is that the things that Alec does, okay. I'm sure that anyone who's, anyone who has some brains in their head will not do the thing that Alec does to Magnus in City of Lost Souls and City of Family Fire, okay. I was like totally not at all okay with Alec. I don't know why they chipped it off from the show, because that's one of the main things which shows something bad about it. Like, okay, not anyone is totally perfect in this series. That's what makes it what it is, and that's what makes it beautiful. They removed that from the show, which I just didn't like at all, okay. And the next one is Maya and Jordan. They were so great, okay. They had a very rough past, okay, and they made their way through it. They talked their way through it, and it started out good and it ended abruptly. That was the thing which made me like it more, okay. If every ship had ended in the proper way at the end, it would have not been so realistic. And the last one is my precious souls, okay. They are Simon and Isabel, Sissy, okay. I like both of them. Simon is like this beautiful muffin, and Izzy is like this goddess angel, okay. What more can you ask than a queen muffin, okay. They are such a combination to me, and the things that happen to Simon and Isabel by the end of this book, okay, like the last 100 or 50 pages of this one is the time during which I felt sad the most throughout this year, because so horrible things happen to Simon and Isabel. They do end up together, but the things that they have to face, okay, I'm sure that it's not necessary for Simon to have gone through any of this shit except for Clary, okay, except for the reason that he had Clary in his life, and that was so painful to read about. It ended up well, but it just made me feel so sad for them, and that's one of the main reasons why they are my topmost shipped couple in the series, okay. Even in the show, I like Simon and Isabel more than Magnus and Alec, okay. I do like Magnus and Alec, okay. If you don't like them in the show, I don't know what's wrong with you, because it's just so beautiful. But the way they ended Simon and Isabel in that one, it was just so beautiful. I like this one also, but this one's for the bitter side, that's one for the sweet side, and it was just so beautiful. So this is my number one when it comes to romance. Okay, so those were my top 5 romances, and if you do agree with any of mine, that is, if your list matches with mine, do let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, do let me know your top 5 list in the comments below. I'd like to know them a lot. And if you did enjoy watching this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also share it to your friends. If you want to get more content from me, do subscribe to the channel, because I publish new videos every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. Thanks for watching, and have a great rest of your day.